Hello, everyone. We are calling the meeting to order. Let's do it here. Yeah. We're on. Okay, cool.
It's 5:58.
Look at that, starting early. Alright, roll call.
Roll call, Amanda Houston, Julia Cutley.
Here.
Tim O'Leary,
Here.
Sherry. I have a staff member whose name is spelled like yours, or very similar, and she's Sherry. And I just now stopped calling her Sherry,
Oh, no.
but she resigned, so.
I will not be resigning, but.
Sure, been here, thank you, Sherry Atkins, Jessica Hopkins Hubbard here. Our student commissioner position is open and I'm the program director.
We are moving on to accept the consent calendar.
I move that we accept the consent calendar as presented.
Second that.
Are there any public comments?
No public comments today.
Moving on to board comments from library narratives.
Always one good answer.
Thank you very much.
I did think that, paper place to be. It's very sweet.
Yes.
Like, the paper place to be.
I know, but I really didn't want to lose out to somebody else either. So I was like, please, please, please. I mean, I love chapters, they can be the favorite coffee shop. But, yeah.
Okay, so moving on to reports, library foundation report.
Yeah, foundation meet,
Library director's report.
library director's reports. Oh, I was working on that. There you go. That's the statistics that we already went past, so. I'll just say really briefly that, our door counter quit working. At the end of March, which made more sense as to why our March numbers were a bit lower, so these are more of a. I think this is about where it is, but, and actually I should say also that only one side quit working. So, but it doesn't, but everybody's like coming in and out of this, like, so I don't know. It's kind of what it is, I'm not so worried about statistics for this month, it's fine. Because we are down a bit, but I'm not gonna be worried until our door counter is working now, so if it's down again next month, that would be a concern. Especially because our circulation statistics are up, so if they were both down, maybe I could see that being true, but with the other one being up still, I don't think that that's anything to be concerned about. Library narratives. Got this cute picture. This was one of our young ones who had her book autographed by the author we had come in for my first book club. It was such a great, the kids had so much fun. I heard later from another author friend of mine that the author had a lot of fun, so that was good. All right, so Ruth and I went to the Oregon Library Association conference and there were some valuable things that came out of it, most specifically the Oregon Digital Newspaper Program. So if you, for as long as you all have been on the board, any of you have been on the board, we have been trying to get the newspapers from the New York Graphics digitalized. So, but it's very good time consuming and it's also very expensive, so. I was able to connect with the Oregon Digital Newspaper Program, and that's run out of the University of Oregon. And they have the first New York Graphics up to 1922 digitized on their site. Which guess what, the New York Public Library paid for like 10 years ago. It was like So interesting that they just chose different rural places to digitize some of their newspapers. No, no, it's fine. So we paid for it. Which I didn't know that we had paid for it. I knew that they had those, but I didn't know that they were, that they had it. We had a grant and that paid for it. So I also have more grant money that I can spend on more digitization. So what we're doing now, I have a contract with them. And they use work study students to run this. And so we can get from 1923 to, I'm trying to remember up to what year. So anyway, we're gonna just, with grants, we're gonna start, from the really old newspapers and keep going as much as we can, and then another grant. And then we also have a new digitization projector that I worked with Rachel Thomas, who is the city reporter, former archivist at George Washington University. And she's done a lot with Newburgh area industry. So she showed me which one that she used to digitize newspapers when she worked at Church Talks, that worked really easy because what we had currently, it was gonna be, we're gonna basically be wrestling the bound newspapers all the time. Not a good thing. So this scanner should be coming probably within the early next week. And then we're going to train volunteers like Julia in how to do that. So we're going to start with our volunteers digitizing last year, and then we're going to work backward as we work forward. I'm so excited to be moving forward on this project for the first time in a very long time. So it's good. And then, people can use them for research. We have a lot of family ancestry questions. I put this picture in here because I actually used this picture from the digitization. And I used other things as well, but I have somebody who owns a business in downtown Newburgh, and they're trying to get a grant to restore the facade to what it used to look like. And so by pulling different things like advertisements and newspaper clippings and old photos, I was able to provide materials that she could use for her grant. So crossing my fingers she gets it, but I thought that was pretty exciting. So, and this is some of the pictures, this is obviously a professional quality one, most of them are not this good.
Yeah.
But this is really nice.
And that's where who it was? Is that right?
No, this is the bank.
Oh, yeah.
This is the.
Yeah, gotcha. So they're not.
Yeah. And too, it's fun to see, the Francis Theater was down right here as well. So fortunately, the roof line of the buildings is a little bit different, so it makes it easier to figure out. So this was from the Berrien Festival, which preceded the Old Fashioned. So that's all been great. We are waiting until July 1st to start anything with our meeting room, but we did get a $10,000 grant from the Awesome Family Foundation. So that's really exciting because then with some of that money, the library friends will instead be funding for updates to the building as well. We did get the bid back from the panels, the shelving panels from the vendor, because we're redoing the Carnegie room with the grants from the Newburgh Friends for this year, but it's, as I thought it would be, a little bit over the grant funds that they've given us. So I'm working with the state to roll over those funds, and they're grant funds, so it's easy to roll over them. So the grant funds are rolling them into next year, so we can combine those two together and get everything done to get done, so. But I'm grateful for that. And city budget passed as is. So everything that I showed you saying this is what I think it will look like, that is what it looks like, so that's great news for us too. I had to add a picture of Ruth putting out the first fire of the season. Because it's something we do, because people can't put their cigarettes out correctly.
Oh my goodness,
So they throw it in the bark chips.
I had no idea.
Okay.
One day,
That's actually
one
good.
summer, that's right, one summer I actually put out 2 fires in one day.
Wasn't that last year
Could have been the year before, but we do put out, in the last 5 years, we put out a fire every year. But the thing we've learned as well is that, you know, we put the fire out. But if they're in bark chips, fires go down and travel, so, yes. So don't ever leave it, because I can guarantee you from experience, you're gonna see it again soon.
or?
So then we have to call the fire department, and the fire department now puts Dawn dishwashing soap on it first, this is a new one for them, this is last year. They put Dawn dishwashing soap on it because it's viscous and it like sticks to things a little bit better. And then they put like an immense amount on it. And it puts it out, and sometimes they have to dig it out, but they don't dig this out. And it was a pretty small area too, some of the other things have been in bigger beds. So Ruth was really excited because she hasn't put out a fire before, but all of my staff have practiced on with a real fire extinguisher. This one before, so we're all trained, and people are trained to do these, so there's that. We are a week away from summer reading starting, so staff is super busy. We're doing something new for us this year, which is Bobby and Ruth went to all the private and public schools and talked to all of the 5th graders and 6th graders about volunteering for the library, doing a teen service club this summer. And what that means is that when you walk into the library at our busiest times of day, we will have some young teens sitting in the lobby who will sign people up for summer reading. So they can sign kids, teens, and adults up for summer reading. They'll work in peers, they'll be across from the circulation desk, so we'll have good eyes on them from different. They won't be just like, you know, someplace off by themselves. And so they were hoping for at least 20, they got 60.
Yay.
Yes, which is fantastic and has left everyone scrambling a little bit. So we've added more sessions and we have a volunteer pool. And scheduling is for Amanda, it's been a day, because of course everybody has vacations as well, and they want to work with their best friend and show their best friends different vacations that they do. So it's been a really good learning process. I'm sure they'll do some things differently. As you do when you start doing a new program. But Bobby had previously done a program like this at Illinois County Library, and we know someone who's also done it at Salem and it's been really successful. If you've been to the children's library during summer reading, it's very hard to answer anyone's questions because all you're doing is it's just so fast. So we also had our paid teen intern started a few weeks ago. Her name is Andrea. She's a junior, going to be a senior next year. And last night she went with me to the Dundee Literacy Night, and it was the first thing she had worked with the public for the library. And I have to say, my staff did a stellar job hiring. She was so good. It's kind of well, I didn't expect that we would be quite as, I'm not sure I should say busy or popular, but we ended up having a line that went across the entire gym. Because because it was their first time doing it, so they had a table for each of their lower grades, it was K through 2nd. And then the library, so we were the only other main attraction, so everybody did their grade thing, and then they got mine from the library, and we have like they have a great lollipop tree, and we have a spin wheel, and every lollipop has a red bar at the end of it, and they take a prize. Which usually gives me time to say to parents, if you shop, have a library card, here's this is summer reading, so we had to pivot like you always do in some way. So we had to pivot, but I didn't even have to say to Andrea, hey, this is how we're gonna do it. She just looked at what I was doing and then made adjustments. She was fantastic talking to everyone, didn't get like really like, because it's a lot when you've got like 100 people on the line. But she was just very even keeled and I am so excited to have her on this. So it will be her job this summer to actually oversee, for the most part, the teen service program. So
That's great.
it's really exciting. It'll be great.
Any of those teams want to be the student?
You know what? Some of them are too young, but some of them aren't. That's a great idea. You definitely still need it. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions about any of that?
What's the bubble?
Oh, that is one of our performers this summer, the Bubble Man. He's new, I haven't seen it before, so I think I might be hosting that one for Amanda, she might be on vacation, so. Anyway, looks like fun to me. Under new business.
And there was any library support.
Oh, sorry, no friends report, the only thing I was going to say about that is that the Austin Family Foundation actually gave the grant to the Friends because of 501c.
Great, cool. All right, no unfinished business, so we're moving on to new business, the library customer service survey.
Here we go. So I'm just gonna go through the survey, stop me if you have any questions, and this is we try to do customer service survey once a year in April, and then after summer reading, another one focused more on programming and other library services. So I think I was pretty happy with everything I saw. I gave you the comments too, right? Okay, so I always go through the comments too. Sometimes people are asking us about things that we actually already offer, and so there's things we like and point people in direction for that. Sometimes we don't have a book that somebody wants. We have a recommendation form on our website, so I can point people in that direction too, because we love hearing what people are interested in. And we do try to honor those, and if we can't, we place ILLs, which is a library pull from outside of our library system. So there's definitely ways we can get most of what people want. Oh, I guess that was, we go back. I didn't really have anything, I didn't feel like anything was very surprising or concerning. I did change up the questions a little bit to give not applicable because that was feedback that I received last year too, is people were like, I don't have an opinion either way because I never go to the children's test. So change those things up. And between excellent and good, I think we're doing well.
I would listen, we need to take the survey,
Oh, good question.
there's just so many responses. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. So we do two different ways. So most of the responses we get are from the online survey. It's in the form. But we also want to make sure that if people don't have access to that or prefer not to use it that way, that there is a people in the library that they can do as well. So any of them that were done on paper, one of the staff went through and entered afterward. So we did offer it in Spanish as well, but we only had English responses this year. And I will say that our Spanish programming numbers, as is typical for other places right now too, is very, very low. Given, I think, like requirements, I don't expect that to be a big experience. Any questions about any of the? Sorry.
Did you receive any, good feedback that was helpful or any?
Let's see. We did have a response I thought was interesting about our library board interview process.
Oh, really?
Oh, I missed that. I don't know about correct. So it
I
was,
was joking, no, you're serious.
Yeah. it was feedback about a situation, yes, that it was somebody else who was on the board, but is not on the board anymore, so. I don't really feel the need to address that. I mean, some of them are super sweet and some of them are kind of grouchy and some of them are, you know, you get a whole gamut. I would say as far as constructive, I think it's helpful to know we can always be doing a better job with digital and online offerings, both in, you know, people want more access than they currently have, which of course is a budget constriction too. But, you know, it is a heavily used service that people are very interested in too, and we do have a little bit bigger budget going forward for the next 2 years, so that's nice too. I also think that I always seem to get a lot of like, oh, I wish you had this book, or I wish you had this book. So I think, you know, there are also other ways that we can let people know better that, hey, you can recommend a book to us. We made it really easy online, or if you want to tell us at the desk too, we also are happy to enter that for you.
Yeah, that process has got.
It's like, yeah, right. I also see, you know, I wish the library had more evening hours, which I also understand, and at the same time, when I look at our door counts, I can tell which times I'm busiest. Right now, it doesn't make sense for me to be open Thursday evening, it makes sense for me to have a more robust staff. Which also gets more people into the library too, so. That's a decision I have to weigh every year, you know, deciding what we're gonna do with that. I do think overall, our door statistics are a little bit down, also because we haven't had a meeting room since February. So while we cut our base programs, and I'm really proud of my staff for that, because they take a lot more work now than they do when they're in the meeting room. It also means there are so many programs that have to stay in too. So we're going to have some pretty robust programming starting in the fall, so that is exciting too. We're just starting to get this. Any other questions?
Not a question, but just like huge kudos to you and your team. It's very reflects just how awesome everybody does across like every part.
Yeah, it's really fun.
On to library research at the Marks, our.
Oh, so. Handouts for you from that staff, so I'll just kind of go through those. I'll start with the big stuff. We have a summer reading program that is for babies up to going into 6th grade, going into 6th grade is to decide if they want to be a kids program or the teen program. We try to make the baby talk pre-K one Really easy, focused on those early literacy skills, the building blocks that we need before we get to maturity, right? And also we know that parents of young children don't have a lot of data, right? It's just a lot. And so we try to make it as easy as possible. We give them a couple of different ways that they can do our program, whatever works best for them. Samantha created a game board this year, which I really like. And it's a gaming theme this year too, so. So that works out, level up airline, I think is the theme, and this is, we take part in a national summer reading program. So the state library pays for Oregon's membership for all public libraries. And we get, that gets us clip art and access to a whole bunch of other things too, which is a very good investment, so.
Yeah, the meeting where will be completed.
They are supposed to start at the beginning of July, so I'm hopeful that by September.
Will that affect any?
So none of these are scheduled in the. And the truth is, if we get rained out, if it's too rainy or too hot, the number of people would not fit in the meeting room anyway. So it would have to be canceled then. So I don't think that will make a difference for us. We are having story time outside this summer, which also is, it's very different doing story time outside than it is doing story time in an enclosed space. So kudos to Amanda for doing that, so. It's a different feel, it takes a lot more energy. So we have our program for baby, tot, and pre-K, and we've got two different versions, and then we have two different versions of the boards for the elementary K through 5 as well. The word search continues to be so incredibly popular in Newburgh, so I think she did put one of those on one of the boards as well. But I really like this one. The one on the last page. She has a choose your axolotl. And the axolotl is our summer reading mascot this year. So there's a different axolotls and you can choose which axolotl path you're following. Which I think is a clever idea. But you've got one that's games focused, reading focused. So we've got Aqua, the games a lot. Axel, the reads a lot. Bubbles, the programs a lot. Alex, the libraries a lot. Alma, the playful is a lot. Atlas, the adventure a lot. So, she did a great job of that. I meant to bring the summer reading stuffy, but I forgot. This one's also about a word search on the back as well, so. So when kids come to start the summer reading program, they get to pick out a free book that they get to keep. And that's for babies through 5th graders. And then they get a game board, and then we don't do any kind of registration. They just put their information on the first one that they turn in. So we count how many we have at the beginning, so we know how many are taken and back. And then after the first one, there's a different set that's different color. So we know how many are first lots and how many are lots. And then we've got our summer reading mascot, which starts June 7th through August 16th. And that is in partnership with the downtown, many downtown businesses, 20 downtown businesses. And we've got 2 mascots and they move once a week on Fridays, and we post clues on social media as well as pictures of it inside the library. And kids and teens can enter the drawing once per location. And then at the end of the summer, we end up with, I think last summer we had like 8,000 entries or something like that. It's huge. We have about 10 mascots that we give away. They're very, very popular. I think these ones are so cute. I don't know what the actual, what.
It's a big deal. All my students are talking about it and I don't really understand why.
It's like.
And then they look at me like, why don't you know what that is? Is that real?
Sure, it is a real creature.
It's a real creature.
Usually, sure. Yes. So funny story. Not usually blue.
No.
They're usually pink. But we kind of felt like he just looks a little.
Yeah.
And so we were like, you know, what? The blue matches our t-shirts.
Okay.
So we're just gonna do blue instead.
Yeah.
His name is Armando this year. No, wait, Armand. Armando or Armando? I think Armando.
Very good.
No, I forget. I will know this before June 7th. So he's super, super cute and the kids are just like totally bonkers for axolotls right now, so.
It has to be in something.
Well, it's in Minecraft,
Okay,
but
because
I think it's more than that.
did they put it in the theme?
Well, you know, I did see the movie. Oh, it was the drive-in, I didn't really see the movie.
Yeah.
I mostly slept through the movie. I mean, it was cute, but
Yeah.
pretty axolotls. That could have been. All right, that's the kids program. Any questions about that?
Is the fandom bingo new?
You know what, I did that during COVID, but we're bringing it back, so it's really fun. I also do a staff summer reading program because of course they can't win the prizes. So I just finished this evening a fandom bingo for Jane Austen. Made me so happy.
That's a good one. Can be played out.
Yeah. I'll just send it out to you because it was too much fun to make. I'm a big Jane Austen fan, and I would say most library staff are Jane Austen fans, so trying to pick something that they would know. But we're doing a lot of different things. All right, so our teen program. I think Ruth has done a great job, except that all of these things take for frequently ever to cut out. I'm ready to help her with that. There's 200 sets, it's a lot. So,
Do you want these back?
yeah, what, actually, yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun, it's less than to kind of, right?
Yeah.
So there's it's a teen summer reading the card game, and so the way she's doing this is you separate out the green and the red, or the green and the gray. I know what I don't want these back, they don't look like the other ones. These are the early draft, thank you. So it's green and red now. And so you pick from one pile and you pick from another pile. So then you would say, so I've got a delightful classic novel. Or you could say a classic novel that's delightful. And then we're letting the teens interpret that real quick rounds. Here we go.
I mean, I'm 8
Right, see?
That's fun.
I can actually say that. So you can interpret this however they want, like whatever delightful means to them, sounds great, you know, that's up to them. So they can do that, they can write down the book title and then a one sentence review if they choose to read it too, so I think that is a lot of fun about this summer.
So that's so fun.
Yeah.
It's
It's so good.
Happy driving.
I know, it makes me wanna just be like, yeah.
I'm gonna do this with some sort of weird reading thing. Something playing a game, really, I just like read.
So we've also got the list of summer events for teens, and teens for us is going into 6th grade and then up to 12th grade. If they're in 12th, they just graduated, they can choose whether to do the adult program or the teen program. So those transition years, we just leave it up to whatever fits best for them. And the way all of our summer reading programs work is that it doesn't matter what reading level you're reading at. So if we have somebody who's a teenager who's reading at a 3rd grade reading level, no problem, there's nothing in here that makes it so that you can't read a book that's good for you and still specifically in your age level. Sometimes when we have people with developmental disabilities, we will just kind of, you know, the age limit doesn't matter, and we'll just say what works best for you, and then we'll make whatever program works, so. Staff are great about being flexible when we need to for things. So that is the teen reading program. Oh, then there's also the bingo as well. And it's just 5 o'clock in any direction, so it's a pretty easy one to follow as well. For the adult summer reading. We have, so Jessica, for the adults, they do register, they sign up with their name and their email. And then the adults get one packet for the entire summer. And they can do as much of it or as little of it as they want. So there are all of these different options that get you a drawing entry into the drawing. So you could read, you could do one book, or you could do however much time and enter the drawing in and be done with it, and not do anything else. So we have people who do a little bit, we have people who do voraciously do all of it. People can also do, we've got Amazing here, so she's focusing again on our gaming theme, that's for all of this for reading program. She'll also have a weekly quiz as well, a literary quiz. So the literary quiz has to be done that week. We can't go back and do it if you miss it, but the rest of it is done between June 7th and August 16th. That's fun too. She also does it so that if you have a parent who is reading to their kid and that's all the reading that they're able to do this summer, they can still participate in the adult summer reading program as well. So again, they don't have to be reading adult books. Let's move back to tic-tac-toe, on these as well. She's really done a great job with all of the puzzles and games and stuff, and she's worked really hard on it. I did not even see that she did an I Spy one. I love I Spy games. It's very fun. And then another thing that we've got going on this summer, we've got a few other things going on this summer, which is we're doing a spice kit for each month. So we've been doing this, we've done this several times before and it's been super popular. So these ones don't include the spice, but the ones we pass out in the library actually include the spice right here. And we do have somebody, a volunteer who has a food handler's license, who is the one who takes care of all of that stuff. And it sure makes the office smell good. Although we do have a rule after last year, is that you can't have anything with onion powder. That does not make the office smell. So it comes with the spice, it comes with a little bit about the spice and the recipe. And these ones, as soon as they go out, they get taken, so. We have a set amount of them done.
And this is upstairs in the extra.
So I hear you saying you need to be there
On the,
Yeah, I would say if you,
on the first of each time?
I don't know if she's putting this one at the June one out on June 7th, or if she's doing that the first day of the month. She might be doing the first day of the month.
Okay.
Or the first day of the month. I think the first time is.
in my calendar.
Yeah. Really, it's fun.
fun.
Although everything out of it smells so good. Okay, so then the other thing we have, this one has also been done by Jessica. She comes up with some kind of family scavenger hunt around Newburgh in some way every year. So this year she's doing Passport to Newburgh and Dundee local free libraries. So we have a relationship with some people who have little free libraries already, because we take donated books that the friends are not able to sell. They have them in the lobby, if they're not selling in the lobby, then they'll contact the little free libraries and we got books, the children's books. We also drop off books around the city too, so that books are getting to people in lots of different books. So we reached out to our places that we're connected with and we said, hey, this is what we'd like to do, are you interested in having a group on it? So 9 of them said yes. So of course we're going to list the person's name, but we've got their addresses there. And then there's a little stamp. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a code. We did a code because the stamps we did with the parks 1 year and they got so. So there's the code inside them and you're writing down the code on each one and then you can turn this in and then at the end of the summer, I mean, will be drawn prizes. So things like this you do as a family unit, which whether that means it's you or you and someone else or you and, 6 kids. That's how we do that.
So you say 9, how many are there?
Well, I don't know, I haven't looked at the registration in a while, but if they're official ones, they're registered on the Little Free Library website. And you can put in a zip code and then you'll get a list of all of the addresses.
So I was
Yeah.
driving around here and see it, it's like,
Yeah.
So people, like a neighbor own that.
Right.
And anyone's who.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
some
some
of
of
them
them
are
are
really
really
cute. Some of them are cute too. Yeah, I know, like fashion circles, but yeah, I mean.
it is really fun. I think the library offering donated books that we're not able to use, but can still get out into the community in different ways also helps, because it can be a little bit of a burden on people sometimes. But I really wanted to get one, but I have a dog that's. It just makes if you can see it, it should not be near our house,
Yeah.
so.
Right.
I mean, the college students that live around us walk on the other side of the street, so I'm like, there's no way that we can put up a little free library in our yard. My poor Neville would just lose his mind.
Well, stay away from my yard.
Space. Those college students. It's funny, when they move in every year, it takes them like a week. And then they're like, oh, cross to the other side.
We know that, I guess, yeah.
All right, any questions about the summer reading program?
This looks amazing.
It is
So fun.
amazing, my staff is really amazing.
Did you get another problem?
We are not doing a kickoff. We go a little bit too big for kickoffs.
Yeah.
But we're doing we're doing a game day mid-June on a Saturday with,
And is it,
with ice cream.
Public Works Day?
And Public Works Day is June, let's see, 18th. And that will be, if you're able to stop by for that at all, if you're able to brave that. It's a great event, so it's Public Works Day, the Public Works Department is the one who really, organizes it and all of that, but it's hosted at the library, so they bring in big equipment and they do let the kids on board. It's really well, but, then they also do a free hot dog lunch for the first 500 to 700, so we probably get around 700 each. So it's really big and really busy and it's a fun community event and different city departments have different booths, so people can learn about different things in the city. Amanda has given up trying to do a story time because we just can't spend time with one another, No. Well, we used to have it, what we would do is they can't get on it until after story time. Or they can't get on it until after, and now it's much better, because then words will drown out there. So. Yep, it's a fun event, it's been going on for. I think it started before my son was born. So it's been going, he's 16. That's great, it's probably 18 years. It's been going on, so. It's really fun.
Great, there are no meetings in June or July. Okay, summer. And next meeting is August 21st. That's great. It is now out on the 12th. Because of snow days, and a really weird.
And I'm gonna stop the screen share and we're gonna stop the meeting at 6:42.
I guess I should say, sorry, I don't know.
yeah.
Most people follow the same calendar, but a lot of